There is a crisis right now for athletes and their families in recruiting in college baseball. The name of that crisis is mistakes. Very simply, an enormous number of athletes and their families make mistakes. They're at the wrong school. They're in the wrong baseball program for them. They're in programs where they're not going to play. They're in programs where they're not going to be given a chance to develop, to get better. They're not even in programs where they're going to be given a chance to play. They're going to get cut. Let's start with just how difficult playing in college baseball is. Only 7% of all the high school baseball players in America will make it onto a college roster. Of that 7%, of that population, a third will quit or be asked to leave. Most of these mistakes are due to a lack of information or even misinformation. These mistakes do not occur in a vacuum. You know, in school, students get help from a guidance counselor. If I have a C- average coming into my senior year, I don't apply for entry into an Ivy League school. And yet, these players and their families, they come out of high school and expensive travel ball programs, showcases, tryout camps, where they should be getting proper guidance. Right now, the word within the industry is that there are 4,000 players in the transfer portal. What does that mean? Well, it means that these athletes and their families made mistakes. They're at the wrong school. They're in the wrong program. For them, mistakes are really expensive. Time, money. Let's talk money. What does it cost to put in a semester or a full year at the wrong school? What about potential injury? What about eligibility? Most importantly, I think, is the potential for the loss of passion for the game that, I mean, let's face it, that's why you're there in the first place, because they want to play the game at the next level. Did you know that the average family that's involved in travel ball spends 10 grand a year? Over the course of an athlete's career, say, starting at 12 or 13, that's $50,000. That's a lot of money to invest in making a mistake and getting into the wrong program. What is the solution to this problem? How do you go about not making a mistake? That's easy. Don't make the mistake in the first place. Then you don't have to fix it. The old adage, you don't have to pick up the spilled milk if you don't spill it in the first place. So how do you do that? It's very simple. Information, objective, clear, honest, realistic information. This all began, in fact, 10, 15 years ago when we were running a tryout for an independent team in the Atlantic League. And a player came up to me and he said, "Why didn't I get signed?" It was an epiphany for me. I realized that these players come to these events and they get signed or they don't get signed, they get a t-shirt, and they don't know how to get better, how to do the things that make them better so they can be successful. Our team includes a full-time NCAA compliance director who has been consulting for eligibility issues for over 25 years. We have a major league scout. We have 2 former professional athletes. One is a former 2-sport collegiate athlete who went on to play professionally, whose father and brother were both head college coaches. The other professional is a former D1 baseball player who led the nation in hitting for a period during his sophomore year and eventually got signed by the Miami Marlins. Each one of these professionals would get over $200 for a couple of hours of consulting and questions. We're going to give you all of them over the course of 2 days. Together, we will give you the what is required, and what do you need to consider for the next level. Secondarily, we're going to give you the how. How do you get there? How do you get your skill level up to a level that's required to perform where you want to perform? We're going to show you how to get from where you are to where you want to be. Your athlete, your family, can walk out of this process and have a GPS to not only get you where you want to be, but to keep you from making mistakes that could cost you potentially thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, eligibility, and passion. We look forward to seeing you.